Okay, I hope that you can hear me. It's not the best lighting, but I didn't really feel like being super lit up right now. It is late. It is Monday, the 19th of August, and I am actually in my office. And I don't know where I'm going to put this content. However, it will probably be in a video when I share something to do with comparison. But I will start by saying we had a swell today, and it was quite big, which was good, but it was very slow in between sets. I actually only got like a couple of waves. One wave I didn't quite make it up to my feet. And then the second wave, the last wave that I got, it was like a small wave. And I mean, it was still okay size, but not like the biggest set of the day or anything. And it was quite crowded for Bommy. There were 10 people there in the lineup. It turned into from 3 to 4, and by the end there were 10 people. And I actually paddled out 2 hours after the high tide at 7.4 foot. I will not do that again if it's a big day, because I got swept around the corner. My timing of the sets, I thought I was okay, and then the sets came. For 10 minutes, I got swept all the way around the corner, way past Ulu Cliff House, like pretty much at Thomas Beach. Not quite like I'm swimming at Thomas Beach, but very, very near. And it was violent. 10 minutes of battling with sets, because when I paddled out of the cave, it was 11:46. And then once I actually got to the very end and almost at Thomas Beach, and then I got to paddle out and I got to stop and rest for a moment, it had been 10 minutes of constant pounding. Today's a full moon, and I already, when I was fighting with the sets, because I had my 8.6 today, which is a very, very heavy board, my longest board, my biggest board, and I don't duck dive that. And I had to, of course, abandon my board every time and swim under the wave, pull the leash back, go back on the board, paddle a bit until the next wave came, whitewash came at me. And that was 10 minutes straight of violence, swept around the corner. I touched the bottom. I didn't hit or scrape, but I definitely touched the bottom. So that was really scary. And once I got out to sit, everything from inside was shaken up. It was really violent, and it wasn't like I was trying to almost, I was crying, but I was in this rage of emotion. It was really intense. Anyway, it took me 30 minutes to paddle back to Bommy. And yeah, there were some beautiful waves. Again, every swell is different. It was very slow in between sets. And I just got one wave. I'm battling with my board. Once I'm actually on the wave, it's good, but it's hard to, and this is where I still need to improve on my positioning to take off, because I think I was a little late with the first wave that I got, but I went down, but I couldn't push up to stand up. And then the last wave that I got, it's so heavy to get going and to feel like I'm getting speed, because once I'm on the board and I'm standing, then I feel very solid. But I'm battling, and just also not only my positioning, but just taking my board from home to Ulu down the stairs on my motorbike. It's the whole thing, and it's carrying it under my arm. It's very, very, very heavy. So I almost feel like the board is too heavy for me. It's 6x6, so it's extra thick glassing. It's almost 56 liters, 55 liters. It's a big board for me. I've definitely ridden longer, but I really struggle with it. Anyway, and coming in as well, I came in at pretty much 4 p.m. something, and it was low tide was 4:30, so that was really sketchy, and I did not enjoy that. My preferred way to surf Bommy is to paddle out before the high tide and be there for the high tide and then come in after the high tide. Anyway, that's just what I've got to say about my surf session today. And I'm also like in the last few days, because it's coming to that time of the month for me, I've been eating a lot more sugar and I've been a lot more hungry. So my body and my energy and my emotions are just fueled a little differently. Of course, if you are a woman watching this, I don't need to explain any of this. If you're a man watching this, I'm sure you've had to deal with your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife for during that time of the month. Anyway, I came home and yesterday there was a single fin competition going on and I recorded some content on Saturday night. And then yesterday I spent almost 9 hours on my computer. I actually wanted to go and watch the single fin contest, although there would have been a lot of people there. Fun vibe and everything. But I was like, well, while I have energy now and I can sit and edit my videos, because I've actually been trying to outsource some different things to get done for my YouTube channel and some of the online products that I'm creating and getting help creating. That takes up a whole lot of time because usually the people that I'm communicating with, it's late, it's their morning and it's my late at night. So sometimes I'm still like messaging on my computer to try to get things done, vet people, book calls, speak to people. Like it's been a whole thing just trying to get help. And in the end, yesterday I worked for almost 8 or 9 hours and I was actually voice noting on WhatsApp with my friend, a very good friend of mine, Jamie, who lives on Maui. And she is in the same business model. She's a surfer, she's a yogi. We actually got to meet in person in February this year. However, we have been friends online since, I'm going to say July 2020. Anyway, she is doing a 30-day Reels challenge right now. And I was like, yeah, just done is better than perfect. Just get it done. It's right. Like success is just, it's a discipline. It's a consistency. And it's the same thing with me. I still have so much content to edit. And I before was being really picky because I haven't found an editor to help me edit. I still have probably 20 days worth of content to edit. It's unbelievable. And I've been in the back end planning different episodes and writing the notes and the bullet points and writing the episodes and notes for my podcast. I haven't found anybody yet, like a podcast launch service. I'm also like at this stage of the game, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to with the skill set that I have and where I'm at, I'm just going to get it done and get it out there. Like last night, I actually created some podcast artwork using Canva. I really was hoping that I could get somebody to help me with my podcast so that I can launch it and it looks very professional because last night it's okay, it looks a little, I don't know, I need to change a few things, but I was doing that until late. Anyway, yesterday as I was editing, I edited 3 vlogs yesterday. 3 vlogs. And I was like, I'm just going to do, and this is going to be wherever the editing is at now, whatever, probably in a month's time when you see this, because I'm running 1 month behind on my content, you'll probably notice that the content is very basic edits. It's going to be that way just pretty much for the vlogs until some of the videos actually get a lot more structured. You will see as the content starts to roll out, or you will have already seen. However, done is better than perfect. And right now, because I'm the only one here, I'm just editing and getting the content out there. I also have just started uploading YouTube shorts. So that's been a lot. I've been trying to upload a little bit more of my waves from Instagram. However, I am editing a video that I filmed. It was the second last day of my G-Land trip. And we actually, with my friends that evening, it's a full moon today. It was a full moon on the 21st of July. And we sat outside and we did a full moon ceremony. And we wrote down different manifestations of things that we wanted to first of all release and things then that we wish to manifest. I then started choosing some music from Epidemic Sound. I use all my music. It's all perfect. It's all copyright free, or it's what do they say? It is, what's the word? It's all legitimate to use. It's not like using just anybody's music, in the pop charts or things. Epidemic Sound, I'll leave the link down below if you wish to use some of the music for your content. And I chose a song because there's like the night time and we are doing we're sitting down under the moon and we've lit incense and we've burnt sage and we're writing our manifestations. And I never spoke about, what happened at G-Land and why I came back early. And since I came back from G-Land, though, I completely shifted gears. And I can see and feel from the past month since I got back that I have shifted gears in such an exponential way that my life has completely changed and to how it's been the whole year. I've been now only prioritizing work and surf or creating what I'm creating online. I've had a couple coffee dates with some besties and I had a dinner the other night with my friend, but I've really prioritized my work. And yesterday, I said to a friend like, oh yeah, I'd love to meet up for coffee, but I'm kind of in the workflow. I'd love to, sorry, but I'm watching the surf competition, but I probably won't get to do that. And yesterday I ended up working for 8 or 9 hours because I was in the flow, the creative flow. And I was like, while I have the energy and the drive, I just sat down, put my head down and edited 3 videos, which I'm really, really happy about. But that was a lot of time. By the end of last night, I was so tired. Of course, a different tired than when I'm surfing. But I've entered a very different time of my life and a few things which have really been significant for me in the past month because I feel like I've shifted internally, because I've really, really withdrawn from being social and always hanging out with my friends. I'm just really focused on creating my content, which is something that I love to do because I love using cameras and I love, finding out different technology to use to, capture moments and videos and then be able to put it in a way where I get to, voice what truly matters to me and what is of value to me and being able to now, I love all the editing, everything to do with content creation. I've loved this storytelling. I've loved everything to do with content creation. I've loved doing this for many, many, many years now. And I've just been focused on that. And I think I said this the other night in my video that I'm at this place in my life where I truly desire to be showing up online, offline, in the lineup, out of the lineup, and in my daily interactions where I'm showing up from an embodied place of my worth and confidence and to be empowered to not anymore be afraid. That didn't make sense, but to feel empowered and to embody that empowerment and to, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else around me, my surfing journey or what I wish to create or online or what I choose to do or what I don't choose to do, who I want to hang out with and spend my time with. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, but it feels good for me. And in the past month, my life has changed from incorporating again a very consistent, my spiritual practices, which have really allowed me to drop in to my personal development and showing up from the place of me and being able to stay connected to myself and my mindset and my heart and my soul's purpose and my intention. And I think in the past month and before, I think I used to, I would even say and it's just become so much more significant for me now and maybe this is an age thing or at the space and place where I'm at now in my 44 years, that in any area of my life, it's me versus me. And that I think before I used to be a people pleaser and I wanted everyone to like me. And now it's more so than ever before. It's we're all different and we all have a different lifestyle and mindset and what we're doing in life and where we've came from and where we want to go, right? And it's so important to not compare ourselves to anybody. And this is something that I uncovered a few weeks ago when I was doing some inner work, is that I grew up in my house, my room opposite to my sister's, and my sister was always she's one of the most intelligent, bright, educated women, successful women that I know. She's done very, very well for herself professionally, financially, and of course in her life in general. And I grew up with her always being like the best student at school. I mean, she was in her final exams in high school, she was like second top of the state for her score for New South Wales. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then she went on to do degrees and went to business school and all of this. And I grew up and you can't help it, because when you're a child, I mean, you're just a child growing up, and I couldn't help but compare myself. And growing up then and being at school and being around other people, it was always hard for me because I was always different. First and foremost, I looked different to many, many Australians back in the day in the 80s when I was going to school. There were not many dark Asian girls in my school around. Australia is a lot more multicultural now. It is very, very multicultural, and they are very accepting of many, many different cultures and different races of people coming to Australia and living and immigrating. But at the time in the 80s and the 90s, it's like I stuck out. I was very different. I was always the shortest, the smallest, the most dark skin, the blackest hair. And then as I, got older, because I connected more with being very athletic, I wasn't an academic student. I was more a creative and athletic student. My path has always been very different. And if you're watching, there are very, very beautiful and unique things about you, characteristics and energies and frequencies and ways about you that you are also so unique and different. And it's taken me a long time, and even my path now in surfing and just my lifestyle here and what I'm doing in Bali, and now even more so just in the last month, because I'm not just going out all the time and I've got my head down and I have a vision, and there are certain things that I really have dreams and goals and desires that I'm focused upon. And it might not make sense to people. Like Saturday night, again, I was sitting there at home and I was just working, and I was doing this before I had my burnout last year with the previous business model. But because this year moving forward, I'm so excited. My new level, my new standard of confidence and worth and empowerment within, it's this frequency that is now in the last month, I can see that is driving me. And I'm not comparing myself now to anybody else. I haven't made 6, 7, 8 figures. I'm not married. I haven't gotten the bomby barrel. I haven't achieved X, Y, and Z of some of the things that I would like to achieve. But then when I look back and I compare me to a week ago, to a month ago, to a year ago, I'm doing so well. And I'm emotional because I'm grateful first and foremost. But I think it's really powerful when it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's very important to have people around you that are mentors and people that you look up to. I mean, today, sitting at Bommy, and I was there, the lower tide, so the wave was breaking, and because I'm not there usually then, but it was big. But I was so inspired watching, these guys that have been surfing Bommy for 30 years. 30 years, or even one guy. He's only been surfing, in general, he's been surfing for 10 years, but he's been surfing Bommy maybe 6 years already. And I'm sitting there and I got a couple waves. And I think it's only in the last month, because I've cut out the noise of people and everything around me, and I'm just see, this is the song that made me emotional. And I think about where I was a year ago or before, and thinking about some of the things that I've achieved in surfing, and then just in myself personally, it's I'm so proud of myself. And I don't say that in a egotistical, cocky way, because up until only recently, I would have moments when I felt confident or a moment when I felt worthy. But now that I've stepped into that, now I know that I'm confident and worthy and of value, and I know what my values are. And I have my moments when I'm in my human and I'm insecure and I'm angry and I'm, having a moment, right, in my full human. But they're just moments and they pass because I still know who I am now. And I want to share that because lately, if you're watching these videos, my intention is for you to, I hope that you don't. My intention is for you not to get triggered if I say something positive about myself. Because it's usually when other people, when you see, this is the example I was having a conversation yesterday. When you see other people doing well, usually the others will say something negative to bring them down because it triggers something within them that people who, are in their lack, that they cannot recognize and celebrate another for their achievements. So they need to, because of their own lack of worth, then they come from that fearful place and then they come out and usually judge or say something negative to the person that's doing well. And whether it's, you've got either somebody that you see is doing well or looks beautiful or has made this amount of money or has achieved X, Y, and Z, you either have the people that celebrate and say, wow, that's amazing. I wish that for me one day. Or then you've got the other people who are like, oh, but, and then they have something to say. And my intention for you is when you listen to me and I say I feel confident and worthy. That's taken me 44 years to get to. And it's now that I know that, I would never go back to now not being in that conscious state of being. It's kind of what I've learned, and I'm so grateful. One of my podcast episodes is what I've learned from my life in Bali, or what I've learned from my friendships and relationships in Bali, something like this. And I don't speak about it anymore because it's very much in the past now. But now with the relationship that I used to be in, that was for almost 2 years, that I ended end of April last year, which was a big part of my life. It's probably the most significant relationship that I've had that impacted me the most, that I'm so grateful for now. Because without all the things that I went through, then I wouldn't be who I am today. And, if also you're watching this and you hear someone say, oh, I feel confident and worthy, and you think, oh, okay. It's kind of I want you to know that I still have my moments when I feel sad and when I feel insecure and when I feel not good enough. And I have those moments where I feel really, really small. And I have those moments when I'm in my victim and why, and, but these are moments and feelings that come up. And then I'm able to breathe and come back to and be reminded, okay, this is a moment. This is just what you're feeling and it passes. But I could never do that before. And that's always my message again with my content, is that the most important thing that I want to share in this video is just never, or just not never, but allow yourself to shift, to come into a place and space and realm and vortex of you versus you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing or what they're thinking or what they're saying. Fuck that. Who cares what other people say or think? What matters most is what you believe about yourself and how you feel about yourself and what your dreams are. And if you're living in alignment with those values and moving towards your dreams. And if you're happy. And it's kind of crazy because I've had a lot of alone time. I have my interactions if I'm going to get food or I'm surfing. But I'm single and I have my head down and I'm just working. And I actually I have some moments sometimes when I'm a little bit lonely, but then I think I actually feel really happy because I feel really good that I'm achieving things on my own. Of course, it's wonderful to get help and support and mentorship, but it's now when I go surf in the days when I get a wave and it's amazing, I did that. It's a really big thing for me at the years of experience that I'm surfing. And then it's also what I feel like I'm creating here online. It's I'm doing this. Nobody's helping me. I would love an editor. But it's you're so capable of doing things on your own. And of course, I'm open to receive help always, I'm never afraid to ask for help. But sometimes the most empowering moments are when you figure things out on your own. And then you're like, wow, I did that. That was amazing. And that's just what I've got to share about that. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you subscribe. Would love for you to subscribe. Actually, no, just before I go, I forget his name, but he is the photographer, videographer for Surfers of Bali YouTube channel and Instagram. He's now more than 1 million followers on his YouTube channel, and I'm not quite sure on Instagram. And I saw him this morning, and then I saw him this afternoon. I said, oh, I only got a couple, one small one at the end and the one I got earlier. And I said, yeah, but I was still out then. He's like, yeah, he goes, it's so amazing that you're out there. And it is. It's unbelievable what I'm doing. I can't believe that I'm out there, and I'm actually if it's okay that I'm not too much where it's less water, where I know there's more reef. And of course, I touch wood, I'm always practicing my skill set and fully aware. When I'm having huge wipeouts, I had kind of big wipeouts today. Some long. I don't know how long, not too, I don't even know now, because I'm so prepared for, on these days like this, you prepare for what's going to happen. And even the wave that I went for, I was a little bit late, but I just put my head down and I tried to paddle and take off. I mean, it's unbelievable what I'm doing there. Oh, Bikini, here she is. Bikini, queen of the night. Hello, she's so sweet. Anyway, I do hope that you found some value. It's late, very tired. Thankfully, my eyeballs are not sunburned. I am going to wrap this up. I hope that you found some vibe, some value, and you had fun in this video. Subscribe, would love the support. If you like the video, you know what to do. Thumbs up and leave me a comment. Would love a comment. Let's connect. See you next video.